There's a debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Long look sabe long people belong East Sepik. Before long me talk long budget belong marape rosso government me like woki wambla. Plan is something former Prime Minister na. Good plan member lo yalibu pangia me talk. Me like correct him tasol. Me like correct him one plus statement tasol. Outlaw all geda. Me talk all same. Time emi holim government emi double him GDP belong Papua New Guinea. Na me like talk all same. That's like no hard work blow you. Sorry. And work block Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare na government belong him. You come inside, na you see na nantap lo hard work belong him. Now you stop upside, now you claim him. I want to correct that for the record. On top of that, when you threw out the Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare in 2011, the debt was 6 billion kina because his government paid it down, sir. When you took over, you borrowed and took it to over 24 billion kina debt. So me like straight him, you know, Desla, please.
Okay. Honorable Governor, you may got point of order.
Disturb the governor for a statement, but please read the Bank of Papua New Guinea reports and base it on facts. You're a politician, just grandstanding alone is not going to help you. You are sitting in this chair because of a great man. So be respectful. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member of the Yalibu MU, all again point of order, come through lo che golong and laga. He must come lo che number che address him to point of order.
Thank you. Through you. Yeah.
Thank you. Honorable Governor belong East Sepik, me look sabe long this la point of order, and you may not can personalize him too much, but you can discuss him, put in facts, all this la. So you can continue long discussion, Blair.
Thank you. I think the facts speak for themselves, and I am quoting Bank of PNG records. Number one, talk me like making momolsem. Time, Mama Law, you may been writing plenty time. You missing out law fair and equitable distribution. Me like talk also this la budget and me come up in this place. So me like talk thank you long marape Rosso government. Me still got worry. Also you may need to make him sample more strategic investments through the budget. But I'm all right, at least we've made a start. These are difficult times, as others have said, including the treasurer. The entire world is experiencing high inflation, particularly because of COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war. I was expecting a more modest budget, but somehow those who wrote the budget managed to find some more money, and I understand it's from the windfall, mostly from oil and gas. Now only building me go inside this budget. Inflation emi kama wambla common subject where you may all get I walk long. Talk long emna. The public is talking about it, but I just want to make some comparisons. At this point in time, inflation in the United States is at 8.5%. Inflation in Great Britain is at 12.4%. Inflation in Australia is at 6.9%. Low New Zealand, 7.2%. Ours is lower than that. So whatever the effort that was made by this government in the 2022 budget has actually helped to reduce the inflation. Now, tayo you talk low inflation. You may say lose ting all same. All of this inflation is imported. What that means is quite simply, suppose you like a rice, you have to pay the same price that somebody in another country is paying. Now, plenty man only talk low like buy him car. Suppose you go lo ela motos buy you look him all same. Only no got car lo salim. And this is one of the things.
Honorable Governor, lo isipig you make at Narba point of order. Honorable Opposition Leader, when a point of order, you.
Thank you, too. With due respect to the Honorable Governor, I think this last statement also, the inflation in the country is all imported. I think it's correct assessment. Suppose you may look long, I'll get the figures. The shifting upwards of the monetary base plus central bank, including the increase in money supply and the excessive borrowing domestically, may contribute to low inflation domestic. So some of the time decision you mean action you mean. Low side below one kind decision you low side below budget, financing or something or some may contribute to long inflationary pressures domestically. So I think we need long. Nakan makin dislakan talk. That inflation in the country is all imported. You know that facts belong in back him up this statement plan. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Governor, let me roll on his point of order, then me come to you. Thank you. Point of order, Honorable Opposition Leader. I think me no Englishman too much, but me like understand him. There's a lot imported minerals and issues. Lo arblahab lo place ground. Maybe me wrong. Bring him, but me like talk lo you me all member. But me give him you time. Long come, lo discuss, lo display, whenever. Suppose you have a point, lo talk long, narbla, member, honorable member, I mean, when I'm finished, you hold him stop, na time lo discuss, and you, but you talk, lo display. No can, you may raise him unnecessary point of order, now you may cut him short time, because plenty member like talk, na plenty point of order, you make him na, you may wolo golongan na, time you will short. Thank you. So, Honorable Governor, please, you continue your discussion, please.
thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me agree to some extent long, opposition leader, but I was still in the process of explaining now. I'm rudely cutting me off, so me no finish yet, me not to start. The issue of budget repair and budget consolidation. 3 years ago, Treasurer been talking me blaulsem, and by making this plan, and me promise him on behalf of the Marape government. One of the things that all critics see fail law looks away Molsem. This year's budget is 1 billion kina less in borrowings. And I think we have to acknowledge that because Treasury Togi Mibla, they have a plan. And that plan is expanded over the medium term. And the reductions will be made over time. Because these borrowings were made over time. They were not just made in 1 year. You cannot expect to fix something where issue may come up over 10 years, now you try to fix him 3 years. It doesn't work. Any of us who have gone and gotten a loan from the bank, you might have a loan that takes you 15 years to repay. You don't repay it in 3. This is a similar concept that this government is using in the budget repair. So I wanted to make that point and to say that at least looks away also, there is actually progress in reducing the size of the debt. This year is 1 billion less borrowing. Next year is 1 billion less borrowing than this year. So let's give credit where it's due. What is critical is that we must protect our revenue sources. Now, Desla and me agree one time, opposition spokesman, we need to do more for businesses, particularly in the private sector. And me agree one time, Tok Blong, member Bloyali Bupangi and a former prime minister too. And I think that's something we need to manage properly. On the issue of debt to GDP, it's interesting to note that in the last 3 years, and we cannot deny that, every single country on earth, member Bloyali Bupangi and a former prime minister too, every country has borrowed. So when I'm borrowing where this government is working over the last 3 years, any consistent want them all get a narbla government the world. But there is a difference in the size of the borrowings. If we had had some money left over from the hard work of the Somali government, suppose sabla money been stopped, suppose you may be in Bianim Tok na build him sovereign wealth fund, we would not have had to borrow in the last 3 years. We never put any money into the sovereign wealth funds, time Yumi Kisimol windfall, no that. Now, who said government name stop? You have no choice, you have to borrow. It did not matter who was prime minister. When government is stopped, you still have had to borrow. Those are the facts. And let's look at some of the borrowing. The United States in the last 3 years has borrowed $4 trillion US. 4 trillion. That's almost 16 trillion kina. Lo money blow yumi. And they are up to 100% of their GDP. Australia in the same period borrowed $963 billion. They are up to 45% of GDP. When we want to debate, let's debate intelligently and let's make the comparisons. New Zealand had zero debt 3 years ago. In the last 3 years, they borrowed $63 billion, and they are now up to 18% of GDP. This is a good budget, Mr. Speaker. When you compare with others in the region, capital budget may increase along 9 billion over. Mi gat sambla wari lo desla bian ba mi tok. Mi like walking one bla big bla thank you. Lo side lo police budget may increase. Mi bla plan di tok lo law and order. Na now mi bla looking budget di go on top. Mi like ask him tasol all same. Time commissioner ikisim budget blongem na yupla allocate him. How much you plus spend him inside lo East Sepik, please talk sawe. How much you plus spend him lo Western Highlands, please talk sawe. Mi pla all province mas sawe how much you pla police department the plan lo spend him lo province lo mi pla so mi pla too can come na holim han one time you pla lo solve him des la problem bring him down law and order lo country. Pasin blo hire him car blo police please and must stop. Mi amamas tu lo increase lo law and justice sector budget igolo 232 million. Time yumi looking policy holding one blaman or Mary long aswa oli kamapim. We must see that the process is completed, that they are prosecuted, charged, and incarcerated, and proper corrections done. So this like a significant increase lo budget lo law and justice sector. Concern lo me, and I think it should be the concern of this parliament, is that we must have some mechanism to check that money you may put him here only use him good or only use him good. Good plan you may cut him tasol give him all na. You may lose thing. Because the accountability doesn't stop there. We give the money, we must check on its expenditure and how it is expended. On the issue of taxes, me too, me concern lo tax go long BSP, but then me asking me it. When I'm tax and by fair, me looking tax law bank, me yet too, one kind of some plenty on Narpla Papua New Guineans, we struggle with the banking system. This year the bank declared over $1 billion kina in profit. It's an increase of 33% from last year. Now all by declaring Narbla dividend can. It'll be interesting to see how time and tough na all got money no making profit na bank am still making profit yet. Everyone should carry a fair share of the tax burden. Time you stop yet long issue long inflation. We been talk inside Lodesla House last time. We must increase local production. Suppose you mean on not planning rice, we need to increase the production of taro, banana, cow, na despla kain ol kai. So you substitute the imported items for local produce, which is also much healthier than rice. We have to start thinking like this. Me got concern too, you mean increasing can levies on top of logging export. Me understand him rationale behind lo desala. You mean like forcing on logging companies lo go down na walk him downstream processing na come up him walk so that all people can walk. Me note him. Debate blong. Shadow Treasurer, me talk lo desla. I think we need to do some more work. Rather than just having a punitive tax in place, you should find him some road lo encourage him all desla company, give him all incentive so they can build the processing plants that we need to process the logs. Rather than just kisim on blab diway na brook him head blow na lose him country na go. Come back lo mibla. Me still need think of some you need lo straight in this all forex issues. Now yet you may look at crossfight to come up, opposition treasurer me throw my talk. Now me talk also aso I stop lo government. I was sitting in the opposition bench when I was raising issues about forex. Now I'm on the government side and we still have issues with forex. We need to find out whether the problem is in treasury, the problem is in the Bank of Papua New Guinea, or the problem is with the commercial banks. We need to find out and fix it so that the businesses can have access to Forex. Good plan lo yumi sutim to go come. Come back lo side blong East Sepik mi player. Mi like talk thank you lo government. You play increase in budget blong mi pla. The biggest increase is in teachers' salaries. Mipla lo East Sepik got close to 7,000 pla teacher. Nami amamas also you play look sabe na increase mi go 117 million lo make sure likisim pay blongol. Mipla got increase too longol grants go down longol province na longol LLG funding. Mi talk thank you lo desla. Big pla thank you mi like give him he go long treasury. No line he walk from the health department. Mipla lo East Sepik, we are about to open the most modern public hospital in Papua New Guinea. It is the first fully digital hospital that has been built. And we have to increase the funding for specialists. Good plan lo yumi got all got a machine, all got something na. Got workman. So government is give him extra 10 million long pay moldespla all 7 man by come na work inside lo desla housing. Lo save him 1 million people belong east na West Sepik tasol. Tasol blow save him all people blow Papua New Guinea. So me like talk thank you lo despla. The risks I see to the budget in closing, Mr. Speaker, Parliament must get oversight lo desla spending. Mr. 5 years lo desla Parliament. Me no look him one pla oversight, you miss I make him long all expenditure, you miss I pass him lo desla flow. Now you me go lo record budget. By me give him triple money go down long all province, triple money by go down long all district. I want to commend the member for Yalibu Pangia when he was the Prime Minister. I mean starting this la passing bro pushing money go down long all district. But if you take a look at it, Sambla district only kisim 200 million kina pinis from 2012 to 2022. Sambla district, our favorite one, blow Yumi Sambla, they get extra 50, 60, 70 million a year. So some districts have received close to 400 million already in the last 10 years. No got one bla money go down na sekim. Lo find out or some desla money, desla district ikisim. Emi come up in one kai kai. Desla estri boli build him. How much pla balusi sai punar longem? How much pla passing there use him? We have never checked. And that is the failure of every single government since independence. Now, all district by Kisim, 15 million. Every single district. East Sepik province 2 by Kisim increase lo funding blongem. Usait by Sekim. National planning has never been able to do it. We still don't have a mechanism that will come down and check. Tupla time misanap lo desla floor na mi ask him. All national departments lo come na Sekim East Sepik. It was never done. We would be irresponsible to keep giving money to districts and provinces and agencies. Now you may know Sekim. That is irresponsible. Responsibility blomipla lo cutting pig tasol. We need to check how they use it. And we haven't done that. So me like encouraging Molsem, we need to come up with a mechanism now. Before the next year's budget comes out, first session, next parliament, if we need a parliamentary committee or we need some other mechanism to check it, that's going to be set up. No can give him money, nothing, no district, na province, na agency, na lose thing. Give him, na go back, na Sekim. Only use him good public money or no got. Me consent to, na mi harim sabla debate, liquidity and pull up lo bank. You got plenty money to mass inside lo banking system. You may still no piny one bla road, lo deploy him this la money come inside, lo help him bla, lo grow him economy blo mi bla. That needs to be found next year. Before lo you may start lo go inside lo this la all get a expenditure. I will call again, given this opportunity, we need new investments. Time blow walking on Nubla Garden. You may harvest octadi by Pinis now. Oil emi work go down, gas by Pinis close to. The challenge is on us. Rather than you may give him money, nothing lol district here. Now, province, we got to have a cut-off point where you may luluk lo desla money, and let's invest in strategic investments. Come up in Nupla Garden, belong all future generations. My last point, Mr. Speaker, before I sit down, this is a good budget. Me like him, you may all got a district, province, all agencies, you may hold him hand na implement him one time. Where you got opportunity, blow me lo partner na share him cost. East Sepik provincial government is ready to partner with any of the national agencies if they are working in our province. With that, I commend the budget, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister.